The world around us is huge and we can hardly concentrate on every bit of it. So many surprising things are taking place every moment that it practically is impossible to keep track of these. Also, because we usually remain so absorbed in our routine and some specific activities, we miss out on these happenings. A lot of valuable and amazing discoveries are made at times just by accident. These can be entertaining as well as informative, provided we spare some time and learn that the universe is not merely revolving around us. Rather, it has an incredible variety of interesting things to offer. Today we'll share the 20 accidental discoveries that you've never heard of before, so sit tight and enjoy. But first, make sure you've subscribed to our channel and turn on the notifications in order to stay up to date with our latest releases. Life beneath the ice shelves. This may come as a surprise to you guys, but life actually exists and even thrives under the Arctic ice shelves. A team of researchers working in the Antarctic accidentally came across 16 sponges and 22 unidentified species attached to a rock hidden far away from the sunlight. This discovery contradicts the long-held theory that life cannot survive under these harsh conditions. There exists no clue what these species are or how they managed to survive here, but it's anybody's guess so far. The extinct living fossil. You might have seen all the blockbuster horror movies that all hell will break loose as soon as a ghost is set free. A similar situation was faced by scientists working off the coast of Japan when they discovered a symbiotic relationship between two marine life forms. Despite being considered extinct for what scientists believe 273 million years, it's surviving deep at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean. It's believed that these non-skeletal corals continue to grow from the stocks of aquatic animals on the ocean floor and never went extinct. During the Paleozoological era, the hosts and corals used to get along very well. The ocean floor is filled with them, but the discovery is accidental. The scientists have so many things to handle. Protozoa and bacteria. Nowadays, discovering a tiny microbial organism is not considered a big job as we have microscopes. In the 17th century, Anthony Leeuwenhoek built a single microscope used to make the first ever observation of bacteria and protozoa. Actually, his well-documented research on fleas and other small animals disproved false theories on life. It happened by accident when he decided to have a closer look at an eel. Discovering bacteria really proved to be a watershed event of the 17th century, which is one of the most scientifically and technologically revolutionary eras. Turkey's hidden underground city. Underground dwellings have been discovered in different parts of the world, but you'd be astonished to know about Turkey's rich history. Multiple underground cities exist in Turkey. However, the most prominent ones were discovered in the Cappadocia region. In 1963, the most impressive among these, Darren Kudu, was found accidentally. A person, while renovating his house, knocked out a wall and found a passage leading to an extensive network of underground stone tunnels and chambers. At the terminal point of the tunnel, an 18-foot metropolis having sufficient space to accommodate up to 20,000 people was found. Experts have no evidence regarding who constructed it or why the city of Darren Kudu was constructed at all. This city encompasses meeting halls, shops, freshwater wells, stables, and even stone doors. Teflon. The accidental discovery of an important material like Teflon would seem quite wild, but it's a reality. In 1938, Roy Plunkett, a DuPont scientist, was trying to find out ways for making refrigerators more home-friendly. He thought to replace the then refrigerant ammonia sulfur dioxide and propane. On opening the container of one of his samples, he found that his experimental gas had already vanished, and he could see only a surprising resin that looked to be completely resistant to enormous heat and chemicals. During the 1940s, it was used as part of the Manhattan Project, whereas a decade later it was used in vehicle manufacturing. However, in the 1960s, Teflon was ultimately preferred for making non-stick cooking equipment. The Big Bang. The conclusion of the Big Bang theory is attributed to two scientists, Robert Wilson and Arno Penzias, who were radio astronomers. In 1964, they were working with a Honda antenna in New Jersey. They discovered an extraordinary background noise. After evaluating and rejecting all plausible causes, they considered a new line of argument. Some time ago, Robert Dick had speculated that residual radiation from the universe forming, the Big Bang, could theoretically act as background cosmic radiation. Therefore, the noise they heard could possibly be this leftover radiation. Just 37 miles away from the antenna, Dick was looking for the same radiation, but he was outpaced and frustrated. Penzias and Wilson were awarded the Nobel Prize. Hoxne hoard. Sometimes metal detectors can lead to the discovery of invaluable treasure. A similar story is narrated regarding the Hoxne hoard. On the 16th of November 1992, tenant farmer Peter Watlington lost his hammer in Hoxney, Suffolk, UK, and requested his friend Eric Laws, an amateur metal detectorist, to help. During the search, Eric detected a treasure trove comprising silver spoons, gold jewellery, coins, etc. Subsequently, the treasure belonging to the ancient Roman era was excavated and placed in the British Museum. It was the biggest trove discovered in the UK. Velcro. The invention of Velcro was quite accidental as it resulted from a bit of Swiss engineering and love of a dog and some lack of skill. In the 1940s, George de Mistral, a Swiss engineer, was busy hunting in the Jura Mountains in Switzerland. He observed that the tiny hooks of the cockleburs had stuck on his pants and dog's fur. He examined the cockleburs using a microscope and learnt that the hooks had lodged within the fabric of his pants. This discovery eventually resulted in the introduction of the Velcro brand. The Rosetta Stone. The Rosetta Stone is a big black stone believed to hold magical powers. In 1799, a French expedition discovered it and immediately was forced to surrender it to British troops in Egypt. It's a stone of black granadierite having inscriptions in 3 old languages, including hieroglyphic, Demotic and Ancient Greek. This accidental discovery became key to the deciphering of the ancient Egyptian scripts, which experts could not understand for a long time. Hence, it proved to be an incredible discovery. Implantable pacemaker. A pacemaker is a prominent example of the power of technology as it saves the lives of so many people. It was also invented by accident. In 1941, John Hopps, a Canadian electrical engineer, was researching the effect of radio frequency heating on hypothermia. He found that if the heart had stopped functioning when its temperature had suddenly dropped, that mechanical or electrical stimulation could restart it artificially. In 1949, this invention led to the making of the world's first cardiac defibrillation machine and was successfully used to restart a dog's heart. Hopps continued his research until 1950, when he prepared the first pacemaker device. The intraocular lens. Sight is one of the 5 senses. During the calamity of World War II, British ophthalmologist Harold Ridley learnt a few important lessons from eye injuries. He found that splinters of acrylic plastic in the eye didn't look to trigger an inflammatory rejection. Therefore, he thought of developing an artificial lens that could theoretically treat cataracts. In 1949, this idea turned into reality when he successfully conducted the first implant of an intraocular lens manufactured by the Raynor Company of Brighton, who is still in this business. Statistics prove that cataract surgery is most common nowadays. Vaseline. Vaseline and petroleum jelly are 2 common words, but we need to know how these products were produced. In 1859, Robert Chesebro, a chemist, visited the oil fields located in Titusville, Pennsylvania, for conducting research. There he found a new residue called rod wax, which was removed from oil rig pumps. The workers used this strange new material for healing their cuts and burns. Chesebro collected samples and took them to his lab in Brooklyn. He extracted the petroleum jelly and produced a new medical product, Vaseline, which is a combination of the German word Wasser for water and the Greek word leon for olive oil. Hence, Vaseline stands for olive oil water. Dead Sea Scrolls. In 1946, shepherd Muhammad Adib unluckily slipped and fell in a cave. He found the 7 scrolls in the cave and tried to sell these to a local dealer who refused to buy them. About a year later, the scrolls finally reached the American School of Oriental Research, where a doctor observed the similarity between the scrolls and the then oldest biblical manuscript, the Nash Papyrus. He sensed it was something extraordinary and decided to make it public. Resultantly, the scrolls are recognized to be the most significant artifact of their time in the Jewish and Christian religions. Saddle Ridge Hoard. In 2013, in Gold County, California, a young couple, while walking their dog, discovered a treasure buried on their land. The trove, comprising 1,427 gold coins, had a face value worth $27,980. An expert ascertained its value around $10 million. However, an independent organization opined that few of the coins were so rare that each could be worth $1 million. So far, it's the largest known discovery of gold coins in the USA. Interestingly, the location and identity of the people who discovered the trove are not yet known to the public. Alexander Calder necklace. Alexander Calder, throughout his life, worked on sculptures connected with nature of movement and usually referred to as mobiles. A flea market junkie woman purchased a necklace for $15 that proved to be a Calder original. She originally purchased the necklace from a box of electrical goods and old vintage clothing. A few years later, she observed a similar necklace on the cover of a magazine promoting an exhibition of Calder's jewelry. She met some experts who verified that it was an original work by Calder himself. She decided to auction the necklace, which fetched $267,750. The Venus de Milo. There's a fascinating story behind the legendary Venus de Milo. On 8th of April 1920, Georgios Kentrotas, a farmer, excavated the Venus de Milo from a niche buried in the ruins of Milos. Certain people claim that the discovery was made by someone else. Whatsoever the case, the fact remains that the Venus de Milo was excavated from a cave located in the ruins of a deserted city. Generally, experts agree that the statue was found in two large pieces, the upper torso and the lower legs, along with some more fragments. World's biggest pearl. The world's biggest pearl was discovered by a fisherman in the Philippines. He was astonished by its size and thought to keep it as a good luck charm. Subsequently, he shared the discovery with some experts who determined that it had more weight than the then world record of 14 pounds, as it weighed 75 pounds. Various gemologists assessed its value and confirmed it to be the largest pearl in the world, and it was given the name Pearl of Puerto. Its value has been estimated at around $100 million. Lascaux Caves. A complex of caves located in Dordogne, France, is famous for its artistic mastery. Experts have dated its wall paintings back about 17,000 years and are considering it to be apt examples of art in the Paleolithic era. A group of teenagers explored the cave complex in 1940 and kept it secret until 1948, when it was opened for tourists. Resultantly, the caves became contaminated, and this impacted the paintings badly. Experts decided to close the caves and completely banned the entry of humans. There are about 900 paintings in the cave that are yet to be identified. 18th century toy. Archaeologists usually venture to discover something of antique value. However, sometimes they can also find something very odd. During an excavation in the Polish city of Gdansk, archaeologists, while digging an ancient lavatory, found a 250-year-old adult toy. Experts said that the toy was not made for some religious ritual, that rather it is meant for personal pleasure. The local authorities for the preservation of monuments issued a press release that indicated the object was being preserved in excellent condition and it dated back to the 1700s. We have to say that Indiana Jones would be thrilled to have discovered something similar to this object. Vulcanized rubber. Till the 1830s, natural rubber was used for making shoes. However, consumers were not satisfied as they could not withstand extreme temperatures. A boy named Charles Goodyear endeavored to make rubber more durable. In 1839, while experimenting, Goodyear accidentally dropped his latest rubber mixture onto a hot stove, which then turned into a leather-like substance, having an elastic rim and a material capable of coping with immense heat and freezing temperatures. Goodyear discovered vulcanized rubber, but could not benefit from it, as he died in a debt of $2 million before his product became popular. Which of these is the greatest accidental discovery that had an immense impact on human history or life? Do share in the comments and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. See you next time. Goodbye.